lower prices in more ways than one. CPD's Craig Krause has the story. The report from the Food Analytics Lab found that the overall inflation rates will be lower in 2024.
Resources and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. On Service Mondays, we highlight a local organization or initiative. On December 11th, learn about Neil Squire Society and the Work BC's Assistive Technology Program. Then on December 18th, join us for our holiday trivia event where you can test your knowledge of traditions, movies, songs, and more. We have a new program starting in December, Creative Writing. Classes will be online Tuesdays at 4 p.m. PT. Wednesdays are Chair Yoga with Bobby Seal-Kabisky. Thursdays are Adaptive Fitness with Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Fridays are Contemporary Improv Dance Classes with Janice Lawrence. Visit the events calendar on Connector's website, connector.org, for more information and to register for events.
Yeah, you can start.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to get started. So all you'll need for equipment today is a set of small hand weights. That is the only equipment I have required. Other than that, make sure you have a water bottle handy. The hand weights are, of course, optional as well. So if you decide for some of the exercises that you would rather just use body weight and your arms with no weights, that is totally fine and up to you. We will be doing some overhead work today, so make sure for that portion that if you are in a wheelchair that you have the wheels locked, and perhaps you are against a wall if you don't have the anti-tip on your chair. And if you use a chest strap, that's the other thing. If you like to stabilize using a chest strap, you might want to use that for some of the weighted portions of our class today. We will be doing some hinged activities, so I will let you decide what is best for you as far as that goes as well. So here we go. We are going to start just focused on posture for a moment and breathing. So for this portion, maybe you'll have your eyes closed. We'll focus, as we usually do, first on the crown of our head. With every breath in, stretching the crown of your head a little closer to the ceiling, and a breath out to release all the breath. Good. So crown of your head gets a little closer to the ceiling on a breath in, and then release on a breath out. We'll do two more with our focus on getting nice and tall in our chair. And one more. And then you'll turn your focus to your chest. Optionally, you can have your hand on your chest just to feel that rise and fall. So you'll take a breath in, expanding through your chest, and a breath out to release. We'll do that a few times through. Good. So letting your rib cage expand on a breath in and release, full breath out. And one more there. And then our focus moves down to our core muscles, hand to your belly if you wish, as we take a few breaths in, filling up like a balloon through your belly on a breath in, and then squeezing all the air out on a breath out. So that'll be belly button comes out like you're filling up a balloon on a breath in, and then belly button squeezes towards your backbone on a breath out. We'll do two more like that. And last one. Good. From here, we're going to add in some movement through our trapezius muscles that sit at the base of our neck. So shoulders up by your ears, and then shoulders around to the back and down your back. So we're not focused so much on the upward or forward curve, but more on up and then back and down. So that means your shoulder blades are tracking here up your back and then settling down your back into the position we want them to stay for the majority of class today. We'll do two more like that. And last one. Good. And then from here, adding a little more neck movement with a side to side tip, ear towards one shoulder, back to center, ear towards the other. If you would like to take a moment to pause on one side or the other, or both, Go ahead and do that, or moving through some range. And then we'll move this to a shoulder check instead. So shoulders themselves facing forward, looking over one shoulder back to center. Up to you if you're doing this as a more fluid movement or if you're pausing at each end range. And last one each way. Good. And then lastly for neck, looking down towards your lap, back to center, and up towards the ceiling, perhaps about 3 feet in front of you. No need to look directly overhead as we're warming up. Good. We'll do that 2 more times through. And last one. All right. Okay, setting those shoulders into position, getting ready to do a little more shoulder warm up now. Let's do a nice slow back crawl, one side and then the other, starting with a fairly small range of motion. And then as your shoulders start to feel like they are getting warm and can handle a little larger range, maybe you're going into a bigger backward circle. Okay, so we'll do 3 more like this. And 2. And 1. Good, and then moving forward the same way, front crawl, starting with small scoops, getting a bit bigger as you go, until you're in a comfortable range of motion, shoulder circles to the front. Good, we'll do 3. And 2. And last one there. Excellent. Shoulders are back and down. Arms are out to the side in a wide W. We're going to pull elbows in towards our side and then press them away. You can make this an active push-pull kind of movement. So pulling in towards you, pushing away. Good. 2 more. And 1. We'll take those arms down just for a little reset before we come into the exact same position again. So this time shoulders are low, arms are out to the side in a wide W. We're coming up overhead if your shoulders are ready for that. If you would prefer to do something a little more at eye level, that's okay too. And we'll make this one a push-pull exercise as well. Press away, pull back in. Press away, pull back in. Good, last 2. And last one here. Awesome, shoulder reset. Getting ready with close hands this time, close to your shoulders to do a push and a pull per side. So you can imagine pushing something away, grabbing onto something and pulling it in towards you. Press, pull. Yeah, a few more like that. Last 2. And last 1. And we're taking that same movement up above your head now. So pushing towards the ceiling, pulling back down again. Push to the ceiling, pull down. Elbows facing more or less forward for this one. Press and pull. Good, we'll do 2 more. And last one. And the same movement one last time, this time heading forward. So warming up a little more through chest and mid-back with a push forward, a pull in towards you. Push forward, pull in. Good, so activating chest muscles as you press forward and back muscles as you pull that arm back in towards your torso. We'll do 2 more per side. And last one here. All right, good. I need a drink of water already. If you do too, go ahead. I will cue a few water breaks throughout, but feel free to take water anytime you need to. So I have a sequence today that will be the same movement 3 times in a row with some differences throughout. So one with a little more of a cardio focus and then more slow muscle focus, and then kind of putting the 2 together in the 3rd round. So you will need your weights to be close. Hopefully you have them somewhere where you can potentially set them down on maybe a table beside you and then pick them back up again without having to go very far for them. So our first one is going to be a forward press. You can take this as more of a boxing move if you want. So if you want to do front punches, this will be our cardio based first round. So if you want to start to really pick up the pace, maybe you're on mute and you want to turn on some music to get you motivated to move fast, go right ahead. Of course, working at your own pace today. So whatever is feeling good, taking a rest when you need to. Good. So these forward movements, we're stabilizing through our core. Nice even breaths as we start to bring up our heart rate a bit. I'm not going to set my timer today. You're at the mercy of my internal clock. So yeah, we're going to go for about a minute of different exercises and then switch it up. Good. So let's go for 3, 2, and last one. All right, shake out those hands. We have weights for our next portion of this same exercise. Again, the weights are always optional. I would recommend fairly light weights because we are going to be doing relatively repetitive movements here as we go. So this first one is going to be exactly the same. Shoulders are low and set into position. It's going to be a slow forward press. So mostly shoulder, front shoulder muscles, and some chest as well. So if you can kind of recruit those chest muscles to help, especially as that arm gets farther away from your body. Good. And as we get more tired, our shoulders typically like to creep up by our ears. So just check in every once in a while and make sure your shoulders are still tracked down your back, held in place by the low shoulder blade muscles. Good. We're going to go 4, 3, 2, and last one like this. Good. Maybe you'll do a quick reset of those shoulders just to make sure they are set down and in position. And then again, with the weights, if you choose to keep them in hand, or without, if you prefer, we're going to put those 2 together. So a little bit of speed as you are moving forward. Making sure that you are still in control of the weights. So I would like this to be kind of a combination of resistance and cardio together in this portion, in that we are obviously still using some important muscle groups, especially if we are using hand weight as well. And then also adding a little bit more speed to our movement. So giving that bit of cardio. Yeah, so keep going here. We've got, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Awesome. For the next exercise, you will not need your weights. So if you can, again, set it somewhere where they are handy, maybe a table beside you. Our next one is going to be overhead press. So hands are ready to do maybe a bit of a punching move towards the ceiling, towards the sky. This one is cardio based. So if you want to move quick, go right ahead. And then I promise the next one is not quite so shoulder focused. We'll move on after that to something else after this portion. Good. Let's do a few more moments of this. Four, three, two, and one. Good. Bring those arms down. Shake out your shoulders. Make sure they are in position, down your back. We do need our weights again for the next one. So moving into taking those weights. I'm going to actually change this exercise slightly so we get a little more mid shoulder as opposed to front shoulder. We're going to take the weights out to the side. So palms facing forward to press one side and then the other. Doesn't need to be to full arm extension. I would rather you keep your shoulders low and use that mid shoulder muscle group than worry about having to fully extend your arm. So one, slow and controlled, focused on those muscles that are getting most of the work from this resistance exercise, mid shoulder. Good. We're doing 3 more alternating sides. 2. And last one here. All right, shake out those shoulders, shake out your neck if you need to. We're going to do a little bit more of the same. I think I'm going to go back to palms facing in. It's a little bit more of a controlled move to do a bit faster. So do be very careful on this one. Again, no need to go full extension, but we're pressing upwards with a little bit more speed than we were a moment ago. Always in control of your weights though. So fast does not mean that you're moving around without your muscles controlling them. Great. After this set, we're going to take a small break and release through some of these muscle groups. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and last one. You can set those weights down if you like. If you need a drink of water, go ahead and grab that. And we're going to open up through our shoulders a little bit. We'll obviously spend more time stretching at the end, but if you want to open up through your shoulders, come around and give yourself a hug. Do it again, open up wide. Opposite arm on top. Good, and then maybe from here, you'll drop your ear to one shoulder, back to center, into the other. One more time per side. All right, unwind yourself. I'm going to grab another drink and we will get started with our next set of exercises. So our next one is sprinter arms. So shoulders are low, arms are to the side to get going with some fast running arms. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go. Great, so this one's challenging our oblique muscles a little bit as well, just with this constant movement, having to stabilize. Okay, keep going. Where are oblique muscles? Thanks for asking. Those are your side core muscles. I will point to them in just a minute for you. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, good question. We all know our rectal abdominal muscles are 6-pack muscles, We have muscles that sit on the side, our oblique muscles, and those help to stabilize us from a side to side position. So every time we side flex and come back to center, we're using our oblique muscles. So yeah, thanks for the question. Hopefully that helps. I will be targeting those with a specific exercise near the end of class today. All right, so we are going to grab weights next and move through a variation that would be kind of in a similar movement to our bicep or to our sprinter arms, which is a bicep curl. So let's go bicep curl one side and then the other. Nice and even. This one is with control. We're not aiming for speed. Great. All the way up, all the way down. If that means you need to get a little wider to clear your chair, that's okay. Wider stance with those arms is just fine. Good, let's do 4, 3, last 2, and last one each way. Excellent. All right, we are going to keep those weights in hand if that's appropriate for you today, and do a set of sprinting arms with weights. So you need to be in control of those weights as you are pumping them to make sure that they don't move any farther, of course, than your shoulders and arms want them to, so that you prevent injury. Good, so some pumping arms with or without the weights, in control. All right, keep going, just a little bit more here. Let's do 4, 3, last 2, and last one here. Excellent. We are done with those weights for now, for the next bit of exercise anyway. So again, put them down. Getting ready to do our next one, and then we will stop for a little rest and stretch as well. So our next one is going to be a side reach, or a back press, I guess is what I want to say. Sorry, back press. Again, it can be wide if it needs to be. So clearing any objects around you. So if this one, we're aiming for a tiny bit of cardio, just means that we're moving with a bit more speed. If you are able to do a little bit of hip hinge, so front movement, maybe you're hinging forward as your arm is reaching back. So using a little bit more of those rectal abdominal or center abdominal muscles. Great. Keep going. Good. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and last one here. All right. Within this sequence, we are now putting grabbing our weights again. So you can grab those weights. And we're ready to do some tricep kickbacks now. So with the tricep kickbacks, you can stay nice and upright and stabilized in this position to press back. Or if you are able and enjoy hinging to give a little bit more challenge to this exercise, feel free. Maybe you have a pillow that you like to place on your lap to help to stabilize you in a hinged position. This is our nice, even, slower move. Good. A few more here. We'll do 2 more alternating sides. And last one. Good. If you were hinged, you're going to come up and reset, shoulders away from ears. Getting ready to move a little faster in those back presses using your weights if you feel that's appropriate for you today. So either nice and upright, quicker pushbacks, or hinged, pushing back, trying to keep shoulders facing forward. So I would rather your shoulders be forward than you be rotating through your spine at the same time as you're performing this move. Good. So most of the movement is coming through our elbow joint on this one and using our triceps, upper rear of our arm. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Awesome. I'm going to set the weights down for a moment. We're going to release a little bit through bicep and tricep and then spend more time stretching them after, but we just use those 2 muscle groups. So if you want to open up your hands to the back, pressing back, and then rotate your thumbs in towards each other, we get just a little bit of a bicep stretch. Taking a breath or 2 while you're here, and then returning to center. We'll do that again. Press back, thumbs facing out. Rotate those thumbs to face in. And bring it together. We'll do that one more time, pressing back, rotating in. And come on back to center. Taking one hand and crossing it over to the opposite shoulder and pulling your elbow across. We'll do this as a bit more of a movement than a stretch right now. So you're going to release that and do it again. No worries, Cheryl. Thanks for letting me know. Make sure you take a little bit of time to cool down. Last one. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Reach across, pull your elbow in close, release, do it again. And one more. Okay, I have one more set of a similar 3-portion exercise for you, and then we'll change things up a little bit after this. So we're going to try this one. We're going to go out and out, so kind of scissor hands out to the side. Now, if you feel like you want to add a little extra challenge to this one, you might slightly side flex as you do this. So you might need to slow it down if you do that. Making very sure that this is a comfortable move for you with the side flexions, that little extra side reach. So here are those obliques in play. They're keeping us stabilized and pulling us back to center. Good, a few more here. Last 3, 2, and last one here. All right. For our weighted exercise, we will not be doing that same exercise. We are going to change it up a little bit. So for this next one, you might just want one weight. We are going to use some more shoulder muscles, but in a different way. So I want you to think about this one a little bit like reaching something that's up above your head and to the right or to the left, and then bringing it back down to your lap. So shoulders are going to be away from our ears. We have more power through our shoulders when they are set in position. Core muscles are going to be working here because the weight is away from our center of mass. And we are coming off to one side, out front, back to center, to the other side. So we'll keep this one nice and slow for now. So again, imagine that you're reaching for something just above eye level, off to your left and then off to your right. Shoulders staying low, don't let them creep up by your ears. Good. Let's do 2 more per side. And last one. All right, I will demo the next one for you, and I'll let you decide from here whether you set your weight down or not. I want you to be safe and not hit yourself in the ear with the weight today. So shoulders are low, elbows are going to stay bent at about a right angle, and we're going off past one ear, off past the other. So we're adding more speed, but with control. Head is staying nice and neutral, so I don't want to have to move my head out of the way of the weight. I want the weight to clear my head. Again, maybe this is better without a weight, this exercise. That is totally fine. Good. Let's do 4, 3, last 2, and last one here. All right. Let's release that. I'm going to set that weight down again. We are going to stretch out through our shoulders just a little bit more and then continue on with some other muscle groups. So let's go out at shoulder height and reach out. And we're going to turn those thumbs down for this one like we did before, just a slightly different variety of the same stretch. So reaching out at about shoulder level, rotating your thumbs down. Bringing them in. One more time. And bringing them in. Good. Since I had a question about obliques, we're going to do that one next. And I actually think we will add the same kind of patterning we did before into this exercise. So our first one will be a little bit speedier, and then we will add weights with a variation. So our oblique muscles, again, are our side core muscles used to help support us as we side flex and come back to center. We're going to have hands out to the side, no weights in hand at this moment, and alternate sides. So you're going to side flex, come to center, side flex, come to center. If you find that this is difficult for you, perhaps you are going to hold on with one hand and just side flex to one side for a while and then switch to the other side. So trying to keep your hips nice and even on your chair, weighted evenly as we side flex back to center. Good. So we're just going to do 2 more here. And last one. All right, this is one exercise I don't want to do quickly with weight in hand. So I am going to use a weight now, but we are only going to do this in a controlled fashion. So I will let you decide whether a weight feels appropriate for this exercise or not. You know, have one hand free if you need to hold onto your chair to stabilize, either on the chair handles or on the chair base as we flex towards the weighted hand and then use our opposite oblique muscles to come back to center. So side flex, shoulders facing forward, no trunk rotation. Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then if you have a weight in hand, you will switch that to the other side, reposition yourself so you are nice and even on your chair, both hip points. And then from there, side flex towards that weight, oblique muscles pull you back to center. Good, keep going. We're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right. I have one last core exercise for you, and then we will finish off with a small shoulder muscle group and some stretching. So shoulders are low, weight is out front, both hands are on the weight, on the handle portion of the weight, so that the the bases of the weight are up and down. Having trouble with my words today. All right, from here, shoulders are facing forward, arms are going to come side to side in a bit of a semicircle around your body. Once you get this one going, if you're comfortable with the movement, you can start to speed it up a little bit, knowing that you would like, I would like you to keep your shoulders facing forward. So the momentum of the weight is not making you rotate through your spine. The opposite is happening. Your core muscles are preventing the spinal rotation. Good. From here, we're going to slow it down again. And we're going to move the weight slightly higher. So right now it's at about lap level. We're going to move it up to chest level. And then we're going to move it up to eye level. We will not be here long. Shoulders have already worked hard. Last two like this. And one, move it back down to chest level and back down to lap level. And maybe you finish it off with a little bit more speed again for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. All right. So I did just want to use our rotator cuffs very specifically for one last exercise. Of course, they've been working through all of our shoulder exercise that we've done, as they're the main stabilizer muscle within your shoulder muscle group. For this one, elbow is glued to your side. Palm is going to be facing up with weight in hand, if that is appropriate for you today. We'll start with the weight across body and then open that weight up out to the side to whatever is a comfortable stopping point for you. So just being really aware of your body in this one and what your end range is comfortably for your shoulder here. This is, again, not an exercise that we are going to speed up. We want to make sure that this is a controlled, slow exercise. Good. Let's do 3 more on this side. 2. And last one. And then you will release that weight and move it to the other side, getting ready to even ourselves out. Elbow glued to your side, palm facing up. Weight comes cross body to start, and then comes out to the side at a comfortable range of motion. So again, slow and controlled, making sure that it's a comfortable range. Yeah, it keeps you going. We just have a few more here. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one here. Excellent. All done with that weight. I'm going to sneak in one last core exercise for you as we start to stretch. We'll actually make this one a bit of a stretch in just a moment, so it will flow fairly nicely into the next portion. Hands can be on your lap, at least to begin with. You may need to keep them there to stabilize. If you are using a chest strap for stabilizing, just know that the forward motion may not be as great, so not as much forward hinge, but the use of your core muscles will be just as important. So hands are here to stabilize as you hinge forward and return to an upright position. So I want this one to be core muscles working the whole time. Still doing nice even breaths in and out. Sometimes when we do core work, people forget to take even breaths. They hold their breath. So just be aware of that. Good, so we'll do one more like that. The next time we hinge down, we are going to stay here and do a little bit of low back release. So you'll come tall and then hinge down to a comfortable spot where you can hang out and take a few nice even breaths in and out. And then you'll come back up again to seated. We're going to do that one 2 more times. You might keep your hands on your lap the entire time. That is fine, helps with stability. If you would like to add more stretch that has your hands off of your lap, you might either interlace your fingers and open them out to the front to look like this hinge stretch, or one hand over top of the other if that's more comfortable for your hands. So in whatever position you would like to be for this second hinge stretch, focus on nice even breaths in and out. And then coming back up nice and tall. We're going to do that one more time. Pick whichever is your most comfortable way. So hands on lap or hands interlaced and pressing forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Just a bit of release through your low back. And come on back up nice and tall. All right, from here, let's get into stretching some more through your shoulders. We worked them a lot today. So shoulders are low. One arm is going to come across body, long arm, so straight through the elbow first to pull across. Keep that shoulder low. If you need to reset this stretch, make sure that you do. It's easy to have that shoulder creep up and there's not as much chance for stretch in that way. Good. We're going to hang out here for a few moments, taking some nice deep breaths in and out. You might decide to stretch through your neck muscles at the same time. So if that's the case, you're going to tip your ear away from the stretching shoulder, so towards the side that both your hands are on currently. And then head can come back to neutral. Arm releases out to the side and then comes around again, this time to give yourself a pat on your opposite shoulder and pull across. So just changing the stretch slightly. We're still working on that first side. For this one, as we hang out here for a few moments of stretch, perhaps you are doing a shoulder check towards the side that your hand is currently resting on. And then you can come back to center gaze, unwind that arm. We will do the same 2 stretches on the other side. So our first one was shoulder low, arm is extended and then comes across body. So again, reset that shoulder if you found that it's creeped up a little bit as that your arm came across. And then we will drop our ear towards I think that's the way we did it last time, towards the side that is not stretching. Good, and then ease your head back to neutral, unwind that arm. This time with the bent elbow coming around and giving yourself a pat on the opposite shoulder, pulling that arm across. And then if you want to add the next stretch, it's a shoulder check towards the side where your hand is currently resting. You can come back to neutral and unwind yourself from that one. We're going to stretch out through your chest and front shoulders a little bit more now. So you have a few different options for this one. If you are most comfortable having your hands on your hips, that will work for this stretch. Or you can slide your hands into your imaginary back pockets as a starting point for the stretch as well. Taking our elbows and pressing them back behind us. And holding here, nice upright posture. Nice even breaths in and out. Good, and then you can relax your elbows and let them come a little bit more off to the side. We will do that one again and add in a little more neck stretch this time. So you can take those elbows back behind you again, puffing up through your chest, taking some nice even breaths in and out. And then maybe you'll look down to your lap. And you might even shake your head side to side a little bit while it's there. And then you'll bring your gaze back to center. If you're comfortable in this position, we'll stay here for just another minute or a few moments and look up towards the ceiling now, probably about 3 feet in front of you. And then again, maybe you'll do a little side to side tip of your head, nice and slow. Good, last one. Excellent. You can unwind yourself from that one. And we'll finish off with a little bit of forearm relaxation and stretching. So if you want to take either a fist or an open palm forward and an extended elbow, grabbing onto the back of your hand and pulling fingertips down. So getting stretched through front forearm. And then extending that hand forward, fingertips up, gentle pressure through the palm of your hand, pulling in towards you, getting a little bit of a stretch through your inner forearm. Good. On that stretching side, we'll release and do a few wrist circles, one direction and the other direction. And then adding in more of an elbow circle. And then adding in a shoulder circle. I'm going to move to the back for that one. Shoulder circles to the back. Last one. We'll do those same stretches on the other side. So reaching forward either with a fist or open hand, dropping your fingertips down towards or pointed towards the ground, and then a gentle pressure on the back of your hand. Stretching through your forearm. This works best with an extended elbow. And then releasing that stretch, fingertips facing towards the ceiling, gentle pressure through the palm of your hand. Stretching through your inner forearm. Good, and then you can release that stretch. A few wrist circles one way, and then the other way. Adding in an elbow circle. And then a rear shoulder circle for 2 and 1. Good, and we'll just take a moment to focus on our breathing before class is done. Just a usual reminder, I will stay after class for a few moments. So if anyone has any questions or wants to chat, I'm happy to do that. If you would like to close your eyes for this last portion, feel free. Just like we started class, we're going to focus on posture starting at the top of our head. So every breath in, drawing the crown of your head a little bit closer to the ceiling, and a breath out to release all your breath. So nice even breaths in and out. And then changing the focus more to your chest. Hand on your chest is optional. Feeling the rise and fall of your rib cage. So opening up through your rib cage with a breath in, expanding, a breath out to release. And then moving our focus down to our belly. Hand on your belly is optional as you take a breath in, feeling your belly fill up like a balloon with air, and a breath out to squeeze all the air out, belly button towards backbone. So nice even breaths in and out. We'll do 2 more. And last one. Good. If you had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes now. I always finish my class with 3 big breaths in, starting down low, reaching for the ceiling. We'll do 2 more. And last one here. Great. And again, thanks for joining me today. If you want to stay and ask any questions or chat, I am happy to do so. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Nice to see you.
To see you. Take care.
Take care. See you next week, hopefully.
I hope so.
Mhm. Thanks, Diane.
Thank you.
Good. See you next week.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye.